Dodgers win.
Say that again, Coach.
The Dodgers won.
Dodgers win.
They brought in a bullpen guy to pitch to one person. First swing hits a grounder right back to him. He bobbles it and then throws home rushed and throws it away.
Dodgers win.
Winning run scores.
2-1.
I would not renew his contract, and I would designate him for assignment.
I
You
guess
pull that
Dodgers
crap
win the
in a
series.
routine ground ball. You don't even get sent to the minors. You just get cut and go home.
You just get cut. Get out of here. Welcome to the Fighting Irish Faithful Show, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yes, we are competing with playoff baseball. NFL is going on, and as you can tell, this is not my normal voice. Yes, I have been under the weather, so thank you everyone for waiting till Thursday. Not the ideal night for us to do a podcast, but it is what it is. So thank you for joining us for episode 11 of season 6, the Fighting Irish Faithful Show, part of Dos Leprechauns Media. And the Irish are sure and steady here as we produce for you volume 163. Speaking of production and producing a show, check out Benny. I think it's probably too late for anyone who wants to go to the USC game, but he is selling the Catholics versus Cowards shirt. I personally haven't bought one, but if that's your bag, check it out. I was thinking about that today. So he didn't ask me to put him a plug, but I figured we might as well give him a plug. So Catholics versus Cowards, hit up Benny for that on Twitter. And also, speaking of production, I'm very disappointed in the cabinet. No one stepped up to be the host. Certainly no one showed up here. And I could have just been the producer in the wing over there, just running the knobs. Bullshit. You were not here. Where were you at my door?
I was like going to have the Coach Parsegian Faithful Show, and you just called it a night.
I did. I know I was feeling like garbage on Tuesday. It was a little better yesterday, but tonight is the first time I actually feel kind of human. Now all there is just this cough crap. So it's not COVID for anyone who is there. And no, I didn't get tested. So if you got tested, whatever. Anyway, we're here to not talk about my health. We're here to talk about Notre Dame football. And, it's funny. Like, I feel kind of fired up despite the fun music from the Real Mackenzies here. I'm sick, so I'm feeling kind of like negative about that. And then I had a rough week of work, 2 weeks of work back to back, despite the fact that I was able to work from home, which is a blessing under illness. But simultaneously, it was a rough couple of days of work, just so feeling really fired up and like kind of angry. But it's really hard to be angry when the Irish are doing really well. And we have numbers to back that up. We are still ranked. We are 3 wins in a row here, and we are approaching our 6th game of the season. Maybe I could be mad about we're playing on Peacock, but I'm really not that mad about it. So, but the Boise game was fun. If you've been living under a rock, I was at the game. Fivers was at the game, and Coach Parsegian was at the game. So I'm going to limit my voice as much as I can and bring Fivers on, bring Jay on, who is here, so I can not speak as much and let you guys take the reins. Take it away, Coach.
Well, it was good to see everybody again because it's been a good, solid year. And it was good to finally meet AJ, even though I tried to get you to call him up so we could go drive his Tesla to a cemetery.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
But you were like, no, we got to get up early, and it's like, so.
Well, I got the kids too. Yeah, and so that was another thing. The wife was at a conference, so you came up, you stayed at my house for a day or two or whatever, or like a day and a half, and then, but I had my kids, right? I had to drop the toddler off at preschool. I had the baby, the whole thing, and it's just like, yeah, you're invited over, if you want to come up early because of flights or whatever, but. Yeah, I still got to do the dad thing here. So.
Oh, we still had fun.
We did.
No, that wasn't bad.
Good.
That
Good.
wasn't bad at all.
So we didn't go to a cemetery with AJ's Tesla. But we did.
Should have.
We did go up and tailgate. We drove up on Saturday with AJ, who lives just around the corner from me, basically. What was your favorite part of going to the game, Coach?
Yeah. Well, one of my favorites was waltzing up into NDPD with an open container and they just not caring. Their chief of all people did not.
You're going to have to
Just
give
like,
some
yeah,
background to the people of why you would willingly go into
Okay.
NDPD.
So the night before I leave for Chicago and then to Indianapolis to meet you, this is Wednesday night, my wife is like, "Oh, are y'all going by the police department?" And I quickly text you like, "Hey," and you're like, "Yeah, it's like 20-minute walk from us, from the tailgate spot." Sure. Well, she gives me some police patches to try to trade, see what we can get. So the day of the game, me and Mike are talking like, "Hey, I got to go find the police department." He's like, "Well, I got to go to the bookstore, so let's go." So we start walking. We get there in about 15, 16 minutes. And I'm standing around with him in front of the PD looking for somebody, and here comes this woman in a police uniform. We start walking over towards her, and she's like, "Good morning, can I help you?" And I notice she's got Chief on her badge, and it's like, okay, she's going to have an answer to my question. So I pull the patches out. My wife is a police officer back home. She wants to trade patches. She's like, "Yeah, come on inside. We've got them." And I look at my beer and I look back at her like, and I've got 2 beers in my pocket. And I'm like, with an open beer. And she's like, "Oh, yeah. Come on in anyway." And she's like, "All right. If the chief says come on in, go on in."
You follow the chief, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And so me and Mike are sitting there on the bench with an open beer sitting between us, just like, okay, is this a trap? What's going to happen?
I know, right? You're like starting to sweat over there, sitting on some like wooden bench.
A little bit. But I mean, literally hardly anybody else was in there. And then she finally comes out, gives us patches, gives us the last challenge coin they had too. And I'm just like, oh, I'm going to get a picture, make my wife jealous, which it did. So
that's awesome.
That was awesome. Walked into the PD with an open container as a free man and walked out as a free man.
With your beer still.
Mm-hmm.
Beers, I should say.
With my same open beer.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I don't know if that would happen on another campus here at all.
Oh, probably not.
I don't think so.
Do you see what those stadium tumblers were going for on eBay?
I saw something in the multiple hundreds for those green tumblers, which
Yes.
we were kind of looking around after the game to see if some fool had lost theirs and left them behind.
I didn't see any.
I didn't either. I was kind of scoping the joint out. I didn't. I should have gone over to the gold seats. But
all I found was some random green koozie.
You got the
a
popcorn.
Random stadium.
I
got a plastic popcorn bin and a random stadium cushion.
A random stadium cushion. Yeah, the gold
You're
kind.
welcome for that, by the way.
Gee whiz. We tagged it in the photo on X.
Well, it's proudly hanging on my wall.
How did you print something on it? Did you like run it through the Xerox machine?
I have a vinyl cutting machine in my office. We use it to put numbers on the trucks.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. The Alabama State tax dollars at work. Wayne, no, it's not COVID. And no, I've never gotten a COVID shot, period. Okay. I've gotten it in the wild before. Okay. So that's it. And yes, Jay, I did see the Dodgers won tonight. So woohoo. So we are competing.
I was keeping him updated, Jay.
Well, I was checking the score on my phone while we were getting set up. I was actually watching it up until about 8:45, and then I was like, okay, we got to go down to the studio and get sorted here. Hi, Mac. All right, so I will
say overall, for the game itself, 28-7 makes it sound closer than that game really was.
It wasn't that close.
But I said this to you guys in the car after the game. Like, I have no problems with us going for it on 4th down at all. that doesn't bother me. Just don't run the damn Wildcat.
So what's interesting about the Wildcat
But
is I didn't notice this, but apparently on like a third down or something previously in that series, I guess there was a penalty, like a false start or something. I think it was second and goal. We're at like the 1 or the 2. And then they did the Wildcat play. Okay. But then there was a false start. And so we got 5 yards back. So then it's a repeat the down, or it was like third. I don't remember what it was. It was repeat the down. And then we got down to like the 1 or the 2 again. And then Freeman says, let's go for it on 4th, which I'm kind of okay with that. It's early in the game. Let's make a statement. And then they run the Wildcat again. And so I didn't notice that when we had the false start penalty when we were in the stadium, but I did notice it when I watched the replay. So I was like, that makes it even more irritating that we ran Wildcat, because we had already tried it. We had already shown that hand. And then Denbrock's like, well, we didn't actually run the play. Let's do it again. I was like, no. Yeah. You know, I would rather you just do the jump over the pile thing. You know, I mean, for crying out loud, Jeremiah Love can hurdle people. I think he can jump head over everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. But again, I don't mind going for it on 4th down, especially when you're well into their territory in the red zone, because they're one of the worst red zone defenses in the country.
They were very bad.
Go for it if you feel you need to.
They were 100% in red zone scoring defense. Red zone scoring total defense, they were 133rd. They were 3rd worst in the country last week. Boise was. So hooray for us. What's up, Jay? What's up, Fivers? Nice to see you guys. Hopefully you guys aren't getting this crap that I have.
Nope, not sick at all.
See, it's not COVID. It's not contagious.
I'm already recovered, so.
You've already, see, I must have gotten something weird. I blame work.
Well, you did go in and out of a daycare a couple of days.
I didn't go to a daycare. My kids don't go to daycare. If that's what you call as preschool, I guess.
Preschool daycare. You were around a bunch of kids other than your own.
Not really. I just kind of drop them off at the door.
But you open that door, all the germs come running out.
I am not afraid of germs. All right. So we're not here to talk about my health. We're really not. But I will say this. The Boise game was fun. And if I got sick because I went to the game, it was worth it. So that's all I'm going to say. I had a ton of fun. I enjoyed very thoroughly on Sunday, just going through photos and videos and people, everything everybody posted. It was totally a ton of fun. A couple of the highlights here of the stats, and then we'll get to Fivers and Jay. I see Adam here, which is nice. Mac, hi, nice to see you. We'll get to you too. What's really crazy, so one of the things, like my issues here with the game, the green out, they're kind of recycling the same green out, color. It's like this Kelly green. It's kind of what's, behind me here in the logo. This actually looks okay. But it's that kind of like pastel-y Easter green. I don't know. So I was hoping there would be some kind of throwback to the 2005 Bush Push, not Kelly green, but the forest green, but like with a modern twist kind of to it. That was just kind of my opinion of what they should have done, especially since the shirt this year is kind of that forest green. But Marcus Freeman does now improve to 3-1 in green out games. His only loss is, of course, to Ohio State. A couple other issues I have with the game is the officiating. So there were a total of 24 penalties total for both across both teams. So that sucks. And really irritating, really slowed the game down. And I really think a lot of the calls were BS. There were maybe a couple that were attaboys to us, but there were a ton that were thrown Boise State's way. The roughing the passer, a late hit out of bounds, which was bullshit. Some pass interference.
Then as well.
What was that, Fivers?
They gave us a late hit, but then when Boise did the same thing, they didn't call it.
Yes, yeah, they had 2 late hits. One was actually called, one was not. So that's irritating as shit. and I don't normally keep track of time of possession, but in this game I couldn't resist. There were over 11 minutes of clock time in favor of Boise State that they had the ball, and I don't know how the fuck they ran 20 more plays than Notre Dame did. I just contribute it to, the refs just keeping their drives alive with the penalty flags. So I don't know, Fivers. What about you? I should shut up and let my throat calm down for a minute.
I had a fucking amazing time. I'm gonna tell you that.
Did you
It
get a
was
number,
fun.
by the way?
A number?
Did you get a number?
No.
Really? God bless. You were doing all that, sweet talking. You didn't get a number? God bless. Well, all right. Well, do better next time. Okay.
I don't know. I had a lot of fun meeting everybody and finally going to like my first tailgate and stuff. That was really fun. Say what you want about the officiating and
Yeah.
stuff.
Talk up the Dos Leprechauns tailgate. Let's do it. Yeah.
Say what you want. We could have lost the game. I'm gonna say that, but I still don't think that would have negated any of the fun that I had.
Okay.
It was sitting right in the section with everybody really made it like 100 times better. I think. A lot of it was so the drive home is a completely different story.
Yeah.
I almost had to call the police for some reasons. But anyway.
Okay.
If I could do that again, if I won the lottery, no one would know, but they'd be signing it.
Okay.
Yeah. It was so fun. Again, like you said, looking at all the pictures that you took and seeing all the posts online, and then arguing with people online because they're fucking stupid.
Try running a podcast.
And then
I have to argue with Coach Parsegian about flat Earth theory and shit in the car.
And you know what? So you're
telling you, it's an interesting rabbit hole to go down.
I have the power to mute you, Coach. Right?
Yeah, but you were also talking to him earlier, and you said that no one stepped up to be the host. When I literally came to you like after the game, said to your face, "Hey, I have a funny idea. If you let me be the host," and you go, "Okay, we'll do it," and then you just disappear. You go DB Cooper, and then just
That means I have a stockpile of cash that I'm living in Panama or some shit. Yeah. No, Wayne, it was not a dude, by the way. He's asking on the YouTube chat here. So we're getting some good who's Brody? Someone's got to identify themselves other than Brody. We got some good YouTube chat going on here. Great House is out this week. I did see that. Got to be frustrated.
Irish JTL and a whole bunch of people saying he's going to be on a medical red shirt and then transfer.
Gosh, that's odd considering how great he was last year for us. But who knows? I mean, he is small, but like Golden Tate wasn't the biggest guy either. So I don't know. Like, I think Great House could do well, but if his health isn't doing well, it is what it is. So we'll see. Jay, how about you? Come off mute. I know you're an early riser, and so is Adam Dowling if Adam wants to jump on. But Jay, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Yo,
So, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you planning on standing the entire game?
I plan to stand the entire game because I want to enjoy my seats because I paid for them, just as you should enjoy your seats the way you paid for them. So we should both be able to enjoy the game simultaneously.
Joe almost punched a senior citizen.
Bullshit. That's not true. No fists were clenched. No arms were raised. Okay. Now, Jay, the funny part of this story. So yes, there was an older person behind us who got mad at me and Jay because we were standing, but it was 6-0. It was really close early in the game. Okay. It was still kind of exciting. It's not like we're killing them. Okay. And so I just flat out told, fortunately, his wife had sense to she was doing hit him in the arm thing, like sit down and shut up. And then they switched seats, but tell the funny part of the story, Jay.
Yeah, so after he switched seats, which was right behind Gina, my wife, she decided, well, it's time for me to start standing the entire game.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, like they left or something, and she like leans over. She's like, "He made me want to stand more." I'm like, "Yes, high five, let's do it." I'm like, "Who are you? You've been hanging out with us too long, or something." Or maybe Gina's always been like that. Like, let's twist the knife.
She has always been that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly not the first impression she gives. So well done, well done. What was the best part of the game for you, Jay? Obviously not your bus ride. You said that the bus ride, you'll never do that again. Not that it was bad. It just
the time constraints of it, right? So you're on their schedule, so we had to, immediately run back to the bus and get on it to come back. Which, I mean, we didn't have to drive out of South Bend, with everybody else. We got to sit there, but still,
right.
I think just from the time constraints of it, that it's better to just drive it from Chicago.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Most people who I've talked to, I just say, just rent a car. I mean, by the time you go through all the effort of like taking a bus or a train or something, like it's so far. I mean, I live here in Indy, and so obviously Chicago's way closer, and also in time. So that you'll save some time there. But yeah, for me in Indy, I mean, Coach Barsegian was absolutely loving our drive home around 11 o'clock,
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
He hates US 31 now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean.
I hated it before. AJ passed out, 10 minutes into the drive?
Oh my gosh, he's snoring his ass off. What was that one song? We were listening to some song, and then like it had like a screaming part, and I was like, oh, I could totally just like crank up the radio and like scare the shit out of him. I almost did it, but I was like, I feel
just
too
start
bad.
Playing Rammstein.
No, I need something. I think it was Refused, the song Refused by New Noise, or New Noise by Refused. I think that's what it is. It's like all like mellow and kind of chill, and then he like screams, at the beginning. So anyway, if you don't know what song I'm talking about, it's this. If you've seen the movie Friday Night Lights, it's the song the team runs out of the tunnel into the Astrodome in. Okay, before the kickoff. So that's that song. All right.
All right. So my favorite part of the game was how the defense stepped up.
Yes, I'm really, so glad you brought that. We have defensive stats. So Notre Dame's defensive yards per point here was 45. 10. Where's my face? There it is. Why's my face not there?
They really only bit on like one play.
Yeah, and that was a very, very good play by Boise. They clearly had scouted it, and there was no outside contain whatsoever by a corner or an end or anything. So they was wide open. He basically moonwalked into the stadium, their quarterback. So good on him. Good call there.
I mean, we only had like 4 picks, I think, but we could
4 interceptions. Yes,
we had like 6 or 7. If we had like 3 that were like
probably at least 2. I agree. Yeah, I didn't actually count. Go back and count all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I'm with you there. No, there's some good stuff here. Again, 4 turnovers for them, 0 for Boise. They were only 10% on scoring drives, which is huge. Okay. 1 out of 10. Awesome. Now we weren't great. We were 4 out of 11, 36%, but it's enough. And we still beat them by 21 points. Let's see here. Their completion percentage was only 59%. They only had 100 yards rushing on the ground. And this is the best part. Absolutely scoreless in 3 quarters, nothing in the first, and nothing at all in the second half, which is really when I feel like Boise was really tightening the screws and really trying to press on us, and the defense kept going strong and looked like they were, quite frankly, playing downhill. And with that, over the past 3 games, Notre Dame has only allowed 7 points total in the second half. No points at all in Arkansas. No points in Boise State. Just 7 points to Purdue. in the second half. So hooray for us. The defense is looking significantly better. It looks like a completely different outfit, especially these last 2 games versus the first 3. So huge improvement, and it's noticeable. You can visibly see it. Now, are these teams probably a little worse? Maybe, but I would argue Arkansas is a better team than Purdue. NC State is probably on par with Boise right now, but I will say this, and yes, I have a Boise bias, and yes, I also brought the hoodie with me to South Bend, but I will say this, I think Boise is actually a really good team. I really do. They have a lot of good things. It's not just because they get under center and go double tight. Okay, it's not just that. Okay, although it was making my juices flow and I was smiling the whole game. So I had to pinch myself that I was watching my 2 favorite college football teams at the same time. So I was very happy with that. All right. Adam, are you there? I know you have to get up early, so I'll invite you to speak. I know you had some travel, so we'll let you on. Adam, are you there? It says you're a speaker.
Hello.
Adam Dowling, welcome back to the
How
fight.
are you guys?
Our director of podcast development. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Well, I'm under the weather, as you can tell, but fortunately,
what's going on there?
Fortunately, my
Yelling?
Glenn Livett. Well, of course, I was yelling. I was yelling at Ref B, whoever Ref B was. I was giving his ass a hard time.
Oh man, I felt like those refs were gonna need security out of the stadium to get out of there.
I'm surprised no one threw anything at them. I guarantee you, if we had lost, there would have been bottles and shit thrown at them.
Especially with beer and all that shit. Oh yeah.
No, drink the beer.
Really wanted
No, the drunk fans and shit.
we really wanted to come see you guys over at the Dos Leprechauns tailgate, but to be honest with you, since we got home from Vegas and Arizona, we had a long trip. On Friday night, I had to go to the emergency room because I felt like I was having a heart attack.
Oh, shit. Did I just hear your heart monitor beep right there?
Yeah. Like I had these chest pains and I was feeling like dizzy in my garage. And so Friday, it was like 7 o'clock. I went to the emergency room and then I did all these tests. And like, so we didn't get to campus till like right before the game.
Oh, gosh.
So,
damn.
But I was like, I mean, they kind of went away and they said everything looked fine, but I was having like these like shooting pains over my chest for like all day.
Weird.
And the doctor almost said like, have you been, he said like sometimes when you're doing a lot of traveling, being with the elevations and stuff, sometimes things can kind of get messed up. And so I feel fine now, but being in the emergency room late Friday night, and then we got to campus, and then the way the first half went, my wife Tiffany was like, "Oh God, this can't be good for your heart."
Yeah, right.
So that's kind of how it went. So we didn't really get to the game till like we didn't get to the stadium till almost like right before kickoff.
Man, well, I'm glad you're on the mend, and it was nothing medically, diagnosed serious, right?
Well, I've had a couple friends I just turned 43, so I've actually known a couple people I went to school with that have actually like died from heart attacks.
Yeah.
Already, and I'm like, so I was like kind of a little bit freaking out. So I'm like, I better go get checked out.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're on the mend. Yeah.
So
did Mrs. Dowling take out an extra life insurance policy on you over the week, or
no? I make sure that I make sure I'm worth more alive.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm joking. Yeah, try to make sure I'm worth more alive.
That's funny. Man, well, I'm glad you're on the mend, and also glad that you did make it to the game under said circumstances. So that's good.
Yeah, but guys, didn't you feel like it should have been like 28-6 at halftime? Like really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I do think there were at least 2 missed opportunities. The wide open pass, that I think, not that CJ Carr like hit the hero button, but I think it was Will Pauling who was like getting wide open in the end zone, and he just overthrew him, right? So there was that one. And then our first possession where we have a turnover and downs on like the 2 or something because we do the dumb Wildcat. I really think I agree with you that we could have had 28, 21 points going into half, definitely.
And Christian Gray kind of had a pick 6 that he like let go through his arms a little bit.
A little bit.
So like
bit.
That's why I felt like it could have been at least 24. We at least should have been up 2 scores at half.
I think so too. I think that with more, discipline, and CJ Carr looks great, but he's still not 100%. I think he's at like 85% of where he needs to be, obviously in the long term. but as far as where he is and how he's performing, it's actually quite good.
And that was the a little bit upsetting thing about that play where you said he overthrew Pauling. Like, he did everything perfect on that play. He like saw the blitz, he brought guys in, he changed the protection, he knew exactly what they were doing, he had a touchdown, and then he just barely overthrew it. So like, I guess the positive thing for me is that like he's like doing stuff that like 5th-year seniors sometimes do with like setting up the protection.
Yeah.
That is like really impressive.
Well, and I think it's a function of not only his just God-given talent, but then also I think Gino Guidugli is doing a fine job as quarterback coach. And it's funny during the player walk. I don't know if people saw this on X. I went live for the player walk. I was with AJ at the time. And I'm 99% sure CJ Carr's mom was actually right in front of us, because as the players are walking through, she's like high-fiving people, and people are like waving to her like the players know her. And then I see CJ, and he was actually on the left side of the walk, right? And we were on the right-hand side. And so then he comes over to our side, hugs this woman, which I assume was his mom. And then later, Kenny Minchie came up and gave her a quick hug as well. So I was like, that's got to be CJ Carr's mom without question. So
yeah, probably.
I didn't go and talk to her. I'm not going to be that guy, but
ESPN has CJ Carr as the number 1 ranked starting freshman quarterback so far.
Good, as he should be. God knows the other redshirt freshman guys are, not even ranked anymore on their teams. I'm looking at you, Texas. I guess he's not a freshman anymore, but you guys get my point, right?
Ohio State's doing pretty good, though.
Oh, I should play the UCLA fight song. We will find that at some point here and play that. Here, let's change the subject here. I see Mrs. Officer Parsegian. Apparently, she doesn't want to go to the USC game. I heard. That's bullshit.
She claims we can't afford it, but I'm just like, all I gotta do is sell one card.
One card. One ping only. One Pokemon only. What do you got? Like a Jigglypuff you gotta sell? What do you got?
No, it's
I actually don't care, so don't answer that. You fell for my trap.
It's a $2,000 card.
Whoa. And you're gonna take her to the USC game? Take her on a fucking cruise, man. You'll be at sea level, so you won't get a heart attack like Adam. Sorry, Adam, too soon. Sorry.
No, you've seen the viral videos of cruises lately. I have no desire to ever go on a cruise.
Oh, go to the Caribbean.
I think they're just scared.
Go to I don't know.
No, she wants to do like a cruise to Alaska. Obviously, she's never heard of iceberg.
Those are expensive as shit. Those are really expensive. Because not only do you have to get to Seattle or Vancouver, which is expensive, then the cruise itself is expensive to just go up there. Although Alaska is beautiful.
I am looking for 2 USC tickets. If anybody can help me out.
Internet. I cannot. All right. So Mrs. Officer Parsegian is not working enough overtime, I guess. I don't know.
Not this weekend.
Not this weekend. She's probably like, thank God. I don't want to deal with that. All right. We talked about the defense. Looked good against Boise. The offense does look efficient. A couple things here we want to talk about before we'll bring Mac on, or Mrs. Officer Parsegian if she so wishes, or she just wants to talk smack. She can. That's totally fine. Our yards per point, 14 in this game versus Boise State, 45. Not good for them. Hooray for us. All right, so that's really good. Our rushing attempts per touchdown is 14 flat in this game. That's better than national champion average of 15.8. And our passing attempts per touchdown, 11.5. They were infinity because they had 0 passing touchdowns. Defensive yards per point, excellent, right? So very good on the overall high level metric stats in this game. It's great, and that's the kind of stuff we have to do to be successful. We're titling this show nothing exciting, but it's the Irish sure and steady. We're sure and steady, moving in the right direction. You guys say we left points off the board. I agree, but I mean, you beat a team by 21 points. That does not suck. Okay. Anyway, Mac, what's up, man? We'll bring you on. Invite you to speak. We'll also invite Mrs. Officer Parsegian to speak if she so wishes. Come on, Mac. Where you at? Or maybe he's just listening. That's fine.
What I want to say is that
What's up, Fibers?
Hilarious that Leonard Moore just comes off of like a 3-week injury and just starts being a complete bully on the defense.
Right? Yeah, he's like the defensive player of the game, wasn't he?
I think he was like the highest rated cornerback in the nation.
Okay.
He won 2 awards for Defensive Player of the Week, I think.
Oh, there you go. Do you actually take home a trophy?
No.
Oh, are you sure? Okay.
I don't know. I'm not Defensive Player of the Week, so I wouldn't know.
That's true. Yeah. That's funny. So we have to talk about this because they kept flashing this score up on the board in the stadium. Hopefully y'all can hear this, but
every time they did, there was
there was cheers. Suck it, Penn State. Tell us we have to join a conference, even though I secretly want Notre Dame to join a conference. But point is, that's not a secret. Y'all should know me by now. But the Bruins did take it in their own house to Penn State. So that's awesome. A team that fired their coach already this season beat Penn State. I love it. That's great. Fight.
They fired their defensive coordinator too, I believe.
They fired their offense.
A lot of people got fired from UCLA. It's not good. Suck a fat one, Penn State. I love it. That's great. Couldn't resist on that. That was great. All right, moving on. Thank you, everyone, for dealing with my coughing fit here. Mac, what's up, man?
How are you?
I was sick. You know that. But I'm actually on the mend, believe it or not.
I gave CJ Carr his first day of the year.
Oh, really?
I did think he missed an easy touchdown on a blitz.
Yes.
In the first half that was picked up by the offense beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up the middle. The man was all alone. And also they were in the first half. They were moving the ball well between the 20s, but they stalled in the red zone a few times.
Okay.
But it was a pleasure watching him protect the ball, manage the game. He distributed the ball. He reminded me to many receivers. I compared him to a basketball point guard.
Okay.
The way he distributed the ball.
Right.
I think he
like
really
a John Stockton kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look up, it's not. If you look up the catches and the target, it's not that he's throwing to one guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's really distributing it. It was very nice.
I mean, that's been quintessential of Notre Dame's, offense, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because, with the exception of maybe Michael Mayer, a couple years ago, but since his departure, we don't really have the number one go-to, guy that's gonna blow it up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but like I said, I really liked it. He threw guys. If he had to go back shoulder, he went back shoulder. He was accurate. I think the last drive of the first half was the game changer for the offense.
Okay.
I think that Carr is you could argue Carr could be the best quarterback in the country. I mean, what's scary is he's getting better every week.
I agree. He is.
Every week he's protecting the ball. Every week he's not giving an opportunity. I mean,
he has 2 interceptions on the year. His touchdown to interception ratio right now is 5.5. That will go up.
But right, and so
I mean, to put in perspective, we scored on our first possession of the third quarter, right? So that's good.
Right.
Come out, make a statement, 10 plays, 79 yards. Excellent.
I had the receivers. I had them as an A. They were open consistently. Like I said, they should have an extra TD, but they kept getting open on key third downs, and they always seemed to fall forward for extra yards during play.
Well, and quite frankly, Notre Dame just looked like a bigger team with bigger players, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, especially Fields, his route running in that game and his size was really intriguing, and I'd like to see more of him going forward. He might be. In my opinion, he was the best receiver of the game. Was Fields. I don't know if anyone disagrees. The O-line, they took too many.
See what the box score says on that one.
The O-line, they took too many unnecessary and undisciplined penalties before the snap, which stopped momentum and drives.
Yeah.
So I give them a D+. And
he had 40. Malachi Fields had 44 yards and 1 touchdown. Faison actually had 83 yards, but no touchdowns. Will Pauling, 43 yards, 1 touchdown. Could have probably had a second one there if Carr hadn't overthrown the pass. But, yeah, no, it's good stuff.
One thing I was going to... Denbrock, I would have given him an A, but it's his fault that they turned over downs on 4th and goal. When they did that wild cat snap.
I thought that was a stupid play.
You have the defense. Again, they're running gap 8. They're shooting gaps.
Well, and if you're trying to bunch people in the middle, you got to spread it out. Don't have your quarterback be a useless body there, right? I'd rather have someone else in there, as a fullback or whatever. Put a tight end back there as a, put Jordan Bethello back there as a lead blocking fullback. He's ready to hit somebody if anyone saw that.
Run power. You're telling this is what
talk dirty to me.
This is what Denbrock is essentially saying.
He does not like to run power. That's the one thing that pisses me off. Go under fucking center.
This is essentially what he's saying. He's saying in 4th down and 1 or less, my offensive line is not good enough to just push straight forward.
Maybe he's waiting for USC to show that.
I guess we've talked about it. Carr is 6'3".
Yeah, he's tall. He's tall.
Why can't he run a quarterback sneak? It's so simple. You're moving the line of scrimmage 3 yards. So now it's 4th and 3 and a foot instead of 4th and a foot. This is the dumbest thing. I don't get it, and it cost them. And who knows? It didn't cost them the game today,
not at all.
Yesterday, but it might tomorrow. And I can tell you, it did against Texas A&M.
Yep,
so
I agree.
You should. For the stubbornness, I gave them a B. I gave the defense an A.
Yeah, the defense looked really good. I mean, you limit your opponent to 7 points. I don't care who you're playing, really. I really don't.
They limited them on first down. They got timely stops.
Well, and I don't know if you saw or if you heard at the beginning of the show, Mac, we were talking about time of possession and penalties and just overall plays. 11 more minutes in Boise State's favor. 20 more plays they ran. They had 71 plays to Notre Dame's 51, and we still outscored them by a significant margin. And they did nothing in the second half on the scoreboard. So
They also limited the yards on first down.
That's right. That's been your big shtick lately.
Yes, they limited it. They significantly got better early in the downs, which was great. So it forced Boise to convert on 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 5.
Right.
And which was really, really good. There was a big improvement in that category. Also, and since you weren't at the game, the broadcast mentioned that.
Oh yeah,
Marcus.
I was gonna say I was at the game, man. I lived it, Dottie.
You didn't listen to the broadcast. The broadcast suggested that Marcus Freeman, because they were playing a backup kicker, didn't have a lot of confidence in him. So they went for it on 4th down instead of.
And that's kind of a sharp angle too, right? And maybe he doesn't like the right hash; he likes the left hash. I don't know the whole thing.
They also gave up a point after attempt block, so there was the broadcast mentioned that Freeman may have not had trust there.
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with, when you miss a PAT earlier and then the next time you get in the end zone, I don't really have a problem with you going for 2 to kind of like make up for that lost PAT.
No, there was a 4th down I'm talking about.
No, I'm with you. Yeah. But I also think that Freeman tends to be more aggressive with going for it on 4th, doing fake punts and shit, trick plays. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I that's kind of his bag. He's not the Mad Hatter by any means, but he does keep the game interesting. I will say that.
Last thing I wanted to say.
Sure.
Look, I think Notre Dame got bailed out by a phantom illegal block in the back penalty, right, which led to an interception. But also, the referees need to learn it's not illegal to hit the quarterback if he's in bounds.
God.
If he is
that was such a terrible call.
You can hit him. It happened more than once.
Well, and his face hit him in the chest. That's the most irritating part. It's like it wasn't a dirty hit like from the back or anything. And he's going. You can rush a quarterback with your hands up, okay? And he was in his throwing motion, and he hit him as he's throwing the ball. That is allowed.
There were the 2
such bullshit.
They called them.
If that was the 70s, that would have been perfectly legal.
There were 2 late hits by the sideline, and both times the runner's in bounds. So it's like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
So yes,
you're supposed to encourage him to step out of bounds.
Yeah. I mean, he pushed him. They pushed him out of bounds, and then they kind of took a tie or fell down while going out of bounds. And they threw a penalty. You can hit the guy while he's in bounds.
Apparently not according to this ACC crew.
And they called stupid ticky-tack calls that ruined the game, quite frankly.
Well, we were pissed. I will say this, Mac. For us in the stands, we were really pissed, all right? We had a couple of really bad calls, and I don't remember the sequence. I'd have to go back and I haven't finished watching the game. But I have to go back, and I think it was in the 4th quarter. And it was right before Price scored his touchdown. And there was like a TV timeout, and everyone was getting really, really pissed because we had a bunch of bad calls that went against us. And it's like the fans, everyone around us, and then everyone was standing at that point because we were just like amped up and pissed and excited or whatever. And so if anything, what the refs did was create this environment among the Notre Dame fans that riled us all up. The beer had worn off or something, and the people that were not Judas and didn't leave early, like the people behind Jay and myself, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully people get the reference. If you don't,
I also I think NBC was just ridiculing the referees, not in a Notre Dame favor, but for both teams, they were just ridiculing, and I really think
yeah,
that
Garrett's like, I'm not so sure that should be the right call, like.
I just think Justin Elliott and his crew was trying to make it all about themselves. I mean that
Yeah.
they were intention whores. Last thing, the running back, I really Boise tried to sell out to stop the run, and they couldn't.
Good luck.
I
Nope.
really like seeing Love expanding his role this year as a receiver,
As a receiver and pass blocker. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a couple of times though that Jeremiah Love needs to be careful, because there's a couple of times where I can tell they're calling a play and Jeremiah Love's body language like sucks. Okay. And I'm like, that's going to be a pass. And it was. And I'm like, okay. Like, so if I'm a scout, sorry, NC State, spies, but I guess, or Notre Dame people, but I'm just saying, like, Jeremiah Love, you can't have your body language be expressive of what the play is, because his kind of shoulders shrunk and his head kind of does like the, that kind of thing. And it's like, oh, it's going to be a pass play. I can just tell you right now. And it's not going to be a pass play to him. So, which is fine. I kind of want my playmakers to be selfish and want to have the ball. Like, so I'm kind of okay with that from an attitude standpoint. But hey, man, you're playing poker here, right? Don't reveal your hand. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I do think that the skills that he's developing are really going to contribute to his success on play in the NFL.
Sure.
So it's kind of fun to see that too. And that's all I had today.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, Mac, I really appreciate your contribution. Stay on. There's a couple other things, because you talked about the running backs. I do have a piece that I did want to get to on that. Was doing some cursory research on the opponent. But before I jump over to Hollywood Smothers, I'm not sure how to say his last name, forgive me. But Jeremiah Love, right now he's sitting with 82 carries and 6 touchdowns. An attempt to touchdown ratio of 13.7. So it's okay, but it's not great. But Price, get this, 48 carries for 7 touchdowns. An attempt to touchdown ratio of 6.9. That is fucking amazing. Okay. There is no one in Notre Dame history that is that good. Okay. That was like a legit go-to, starting style characteristic running back. Okay. Price is so efficient and does make the most of his carries. A little more than Love. Now, maybe Love is being keyed on by the defense. Fair. Okay. But he is almost twice as efficient as Love. Now, the reason why I bring that is not to just, praise, Price. No, that's not the point. Both of these guys are amazing, and I'm so happy both of them are on our team. I especially enjoyed Love's ninja kick into the Boise State guy when he tried to hurdle him, and that was good coaching on Boise State by not tackling low. He stayed up, knowing, and that means their coaches had coached them stay up and tackle around the waist. Tackle up in the shoulders, okay, and wait for your buddies to help bring him down, okay, because you don't want him to hurdle you. You don't want to be posterized. That was good coaching on Boise State's part right there, even though they lost the game. But I saw something on Twitter about Hollywood Smothers. I'm going to say Smothers because it sounds better than Smothers. He has 100 carries, and he does have a lot of rushing yards, so good on him. But get this, he only has 5 touchdowns on the season for a team that's 4-2. Okay, his attempt to touchdown ratio is 20. I'm not worried. I'm really not. Like, yeah, okay, you got a lot of yard points here. I mean, Boise, they had 315 yards. Okay, that's not great for Notre Dame's defense. But when your yards per point is 45 flat, I don't care how many yards you have. I care about how many points the opponent put on the scoreboard, okay? And if you have a drive that is unsuccessful, great. Okay, so with Smothers, though he puts up a lot of yard points, does he strike pay dirt? Okay, so with that, transitioning over to the spreadsheet here for our opponent, it makes me want to examine these sorts of things. Their yards per point is not better than Notre Dame. Their rushing touchdowns is worse than Notre Dame. Okay, and they've actually played one more game than us. They're 4-2. We're 3-2. Okay, and we have one more rushing touchdown, which is great. Okay, very, very great. So not only are we more efficient rushing the football at 12.1 to their 14.9, but they have not even scored as many rushing touchdowns as we have. And that's awesome. That's awesome. So.
Hey, Joe, I gotta get going to bed. I gotta get up early tomorrow.
All right, you go to bed. Sweet dreams. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Again, I had fun meeting everyone.
It was awesome seeing and meeting you, Fivers. I loved your video you took of Price's touchdown. That was awesome. I was actually I went live because that's when we were all standing, right? And then I watched the next play and it was like some stuffed run play, and I'm like, okay, so and then 2 plays later is the Price touchdown. I'm like, damn it.
The funny thing about that is from where we were sitting, it looked like he got stuffed again, and that was just a complete shock. But then I go back and watch the replay. I'm like, oh, well, he was barely even touched.
Yeah, exactly.
But, all right.
Yeah, all right, have a good one, Fivers. Have a good one. Good night. Go Irish.
Again, everybody. See ya.
All right, good night. Go Irish. Yeah, the doc. We had our debrief the next day on the game, and she went over to a friend's house, took the children, and had a play date, with the kids or whatever. She's watching it with her friend, and they're like, oh my gosh, he's just not going down. Talking about Jadarian Price on that play, so that was exciting. So. Yeah, no, it's good stuff for Notre Dame here. Where the stats don't lie. Dave Doran is still their head coach after this is his 13th season. It's crazy. They were 6-7 last year. Everyone knows our story. Marcus Freeman has a better win percentage. Obviously, we have a better recruiting 4-year average, 10 flat for us versus 42.5. We're ranked 4th in Sagarin, so it's it's kind of normalizing now. That kind of makes sense, right? As things kind of shift and move and whatever. But our strength of schedule is still great. We're number 2. They are 49 in Sagarin and 42 strength of schedule respectively. There's something I want to talk about here. This is kind of the stat piece of the week here. It relates to our ranking in the AP. So we're 16. We improved to 16, which is cool. What I wanted to talk about is right now the path seems really good. We get through USC and probably that Pitt game, and there's a good shot we make the playoffs. Obviously, we do need help still from people above us, but that does seem very, very possible. What I wanted to understand is where Notre Dame was after week 5 or our 5th game, going into our 6th game, in the years that we made the playoffs, or in 2012's situation, we went to the BCS championship game. So what was our ranking after our 5th game? Okay, so right now we're 16. Okay, make mental note of that. Last year, does anyone want to guess where we were? Coach Parsegian. With Riot.
Say
with
after
this is going into the last year. What was our AP ranking going into the Louisville game?
I'm going to say 14.
Close. We were actually 16 as well. We had the same ranking that we have now. So that's interesting.
Oh, so there's plenty of hope there.
There's lots of hope there, right? And that was where were we, 4-1 Notre Dame team, right?
Yeah,
because we had lost to NIU.
One loss.
But that was a bad loss, right? You could argue that our 2 losses are quote good right now, but I'm never gonna say a loss is good.
Such a thing.
Right, that's my point, right? I'm never gonna say it's good. All right, 2020. the COVID year. No, I don't have COVID. We were going in to face Georgia Tech. We were actually 4th in the AP. 2018, we were 6th going into Vatech, into Blacksburg. Exit Sandman. We kicked their ass, by the way. And in 2012, we were 7th after beating the shit out of Miami and going in to play at home against Stanford. So 7, 6, 4, and 16. So those were the previous 4 times we made the playoffs or went to a BCS championship game, what our ranking was going into going into week 5. So or after week 5. So that's a little stat piece, a little kind of throwaway thing there, but like it's shedding some light of like trying to set the barometer of Notre Dame and where we were. And the fact that we were a 16 last year at this exact same point in the season after an NIU loss gives a lot of hope for Notre Dame. Does that mean we host a playoff game at home? I don't know. Maybe. It all depends on what happens above us. We do need help, but we do know some people above us will continue to lose. Maybe UCLA is going to start picking off some people. Who knows? But a winless USC beats Penn State, gives them a second loss. It's crazy. So other than the Notre Dame game, the one game I am looking forward to is IU and Oregon, just because, we got an IU grad in the house and it's only an hour away, and, it is IU, and, they are technically the second best team in the country. Although according to the AP, they are ranking them above Notre Dame right now. So, okay, I guess, those people know something. What is IU right now? Man, IU's 7th right now.
Ratings because of all the trash he talks.
Yeah, but I mean, they're also winning. I mean, they're right?
Playing cupcakes almost every week.
I mean, they beat Illinois soundly, okay, and everyone was saying Illinois was the bee's knees, right? And so that was an exposure game. I agree their first 3 games are trash. Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State. I agree with that. Okay. They squeak by Iowa, but so does everybody. Okay. Now they're playing Oregon, and which is unfortunate because that game is at the same time as our game. So we're going to be, maybe, I'm not saying we're going to do flipping back, but I will be checking the score on that game. They got UCLA. That might be a nail biter. They're probably going to beat Penn State at this point, and so, I mean, look, IU's really got one tough game, and it's Oregon. Sparty's in there. They're who knows with Sparty, but I don't know.
I get that Ohio State full blown impressed anybody really other than the Texas game, but I don't understand how they're not favored by significantly more against Illinois. I don't think Illinois is as good as everybody hyped them up to be.
Let's see. It was right now 14.5 points. Yeah, I don't know. What's crazy is I think our game we're favored by 21. Like, is that right? Like, I mean, I don't think NC State's that bad, but I mean maybe it's a function. See, Vegas doesn't make these odds based off statistics. They base it off of behavior of betting, if that makes sense. They're trying to get even money on both sides. So they're trying to encourage people to bet in NC State's favor, thinking that, whatever. So I don't know. I do think NC State and Boise are kind of similar teams in a lot of ways. I mean, for crying out loud, just, if we look at just the color, palette here, obviously there's no red for NC State. There's maybe a similar shade of green. Actually, there's more green for Boise, but kind of a similar distribution of the colors here. Notre Dame's always the left-hand column. So I don't know. It's one of those things that, NC State could be a tough game, or, we curb stomp them. It all depends on is Notre Dame going to remain a steady and sure team that continues to improve every week, and that's all we ask you to do, especially after starting the season 0-2 and us playing, motivational speeches by Al Pacino.
Yeah.
So I think we've climbed out of that nonsense, and we're in a position to be doing better. So that is all I have. If there's any other statistics we got, I don't really have a prediction, but TeamRankings.com is saying Notre Dame is a 95.4% chance of winning, which is higher slightly than the Boise State game. So, and at the time we did the show, it was 17.5 was the spread. I think it climbed up to 21.5. So that's where we're at now with this NC State game. So shout out to Benny of the Dos Leprechauns squad, who is actually boots on the ground, our man on the street per se. So he will be there, which is awesome. Benny, have a great time. I'm glad you made it safely up to South Bend. Coach, anything else we need to leave with? Any motivational words?
Not really. Just that I really want to go back. Preferably USC.
Preferably the
please,
USC game. We'll sell that Pokemon
Anybody
card.
that listens back. Yeah, well, yeah, I've got some others that I'm going to try to sell too, just as any insurance. But I need people to help me out. 2 tickets is all I need. So.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's good, man. I think we're on the up and up here, and I think that Notre Dame needs to continue to show up. If we continue to show up, I'm going to use a metaphor here because of the song we're going to play here. But we show up on the dance floor. Don't just go out there and crap the bed, okay? Show up. Pull your what's the Lou Holtz? Pull up your trousers and look somebody in the eye and say, "Hey, baby, here I am now." You know what I'm saying? Like, we need Notre Dame to continue to get better every week. Just focus on ourselves. Play disciplined football, and the defense. If they continue to play the way they've been playing, we will not lose a football game. I guarantee you that. They are playing so much better, and I think we have the chance. So thank you everyone for joining the Fighting Irish Faithful show. Appreciate everybody joining in, anywhere from Adam Dowling to Coach Barsegian to Mac to Fivers to Jay to Officer Mrs. Barsegian here who's listening on. Thank you so much, everybody. I think that was everybody who joined us tonight. I am Joe at Faithful_Irish on the X. Thank you for being part of us, and go Irish and beat Wolfpack.